Hi, this is Diane, and let's get our hands dirty. I have a special project for you today, and I made it for a friend of mine, and she's a collector of flamingos, and I think she's going to love it when the time comes. And I'm going to show you how to do this, and you can adapt it in any way you want to make your own bird. Project Flamingo. Now, material list, inks, of course. I used Pinata Brass, Pinata Pink, Ranger Flamingo, Ranger Poppy Field, and Ranger Terracotta, and of course 99% alcohol. My tools are my airbrush with a compressor, a puffer, which you see over here to the left side, and a sponge brush, which is underneath the signs. Now I'm doing this on a 12 by 12 inch graphics craft plastic sheet. One of my favorite substrates to use. I always keep a little glass of alcohol off to the side, a medicine cup, for dipping my brush or cleaning things. That's what you see in the upper right hand corner. Starting out, I'm going to just smear some alcohol on the paper. The first thing I want to do is cover enough of it so that when I put the cutout over the top of it, there won't be any white space showing. I'm using the terracotta because I like to use my darkest tone first. Spreading it around. Terracotta is not exactly pink, but it makes a nice shadow for pink. I'm just not paying much attention to where it's going, I'm just spreading it. It's a good idea to know the cutout you're going to use before you start painting so that you can approximate where on the paper you're going to need to cover with ink. A little more alcohol. Now I'm going to the Pinata Pink. It's a very bright, pretty, purpley pink. Smush it in there. Blow it around. Have fun. Show that ink who's boss. Yeah, I know. The ink is boss. If you've done any alcohol ink paintings at all, you know that. Who am I fooling? Now, spreading it, blending it, getting texture. I've got my airbrush on maximum setting there, so I'm getting as much air out of there as I can. The 99% alcohol that I use dries very quickly. Going over to the Ranger Flamingo Pink, very appropriate, huh? This is the old Flamingo, not the new one that they just recently came out with. That's a distress ink, and I haven't tried that one yet. Blending it in. At this point, I know that the body of the bird is going to be somewhere around where I'm working. And I'm trying to get a more feathery, that's the poppy field red I'm putting on now. I'm trying to get a more feathery effect. The beauty of the alcohol is that if you don't want it that wet, it goes away very quickly. The airbrush does help to dry it as it's moving it around. It's hard to make a mistake, especially on this craft plastic, because if it's really that much of a disaster, put some alcohol on a paper towel and just wipe it all off. And if it happens to be a staining pigment, and some of them are, especially the blues and the purple, just spread it around and use it as a background for the next one you're going to do. Creativity is about going with the flow. And when those happy accidents occur, figuring out how to maximize them and fix them. That's a little bit more terracotta. I'm getting some nice texture. I don't have it far enough over the canvas yet to get into detail. I hope you're enjoying these tutorials, and I hope that you'll make comments and tell me what you're thinking and ask me questions. I'm going to put in a little bit more of that bright pink. Letting it spread by itself. No help at all, just the alcohol. Now, I just put in the Pinata Brass, which, as you all probably know, is going to give it beautiful gold undertones. I'm not going so much for the lacy effect on this one so much as I'm going for the undertone of the gold. And you'll see why. Well, you did see why. I showed you at the beginning of this, the gold back foreground that I'm putting over the top of this. One of these days I'm going to try a flamingo, just blowing it out. That would be fun. I spend a lot of my time in the studio experimenting. I've spent a lot of years developing my creativity, and it seems to me that the thing I do most is ask myself, what if? What if I did this? What if I did that? What if I combined this with that? I'm using the brush to make feather-like strokes into the wet ink. Moving the ink very nicely. I still have a lot of whiteness to cover. Like I said, it's a good idea to have your cutout ready so you can kind of place it over the top and get a feeling for where you have to put your ink and where you want your pattern. I apologize for the glare. It's especially bad where the gold is. I'm going to have to get a filter for that light. I didn't realize when I was shooting it that it was going to be that bad. The problem with alcohol ink is once you do it, you can't redo it. You can't reproduce it. So we're stuck with the glare. And like I said, I apologize. We'll do better next time. Squirting around, playing with it, just having fun. It's fun to move the ink around. I love that pink, but it doesn't have too many uses. If you're not making flamingos, I can't think of too many other things that are that pink. A few flowers maybe, fuchsias. See, that glare is wet ink and gold. Now I've gently spread the gold, and to tell you the truth, it's more of an undertone than it is anything else. It blends in under the paint and gives it a bit of a shimmer. I don't use the puffer very often, but I thought it would make a more feather-like effect. And it's doing that. You have a little less air coming out of that, which is helpful when you don't want to splatter. But I don't find it either fast enough or strong enough to really move ink. When I first started, I would use a straw and I would blow the ink around. And you can do that, but that comes with some warnings because you want to be careful not to ingest or inhale the ink, and it's hard to do with a straw. Still, if you're very careful, you can make progress with that. Some people use a hairdryer. There's one brand of Revlon hairdryer on the market that people love for this alcohol ink painting. I've never tried it. I did try a standard hairdryer and I really didn't care for it. It was too strong. It just blew the ink right off the page. And I usually don't want that effect. Sometimes, but not very often. I'm getting down to it now. I'm almost finished, but I just want to add a little more texture to where I think the wings are going to show. I want it to be interesting, not just a pink blob. The design is very simple, so this is the place for me to put in effects. Okay, that's it. Hold on. We're coming back with the finish. Now we're going to add the bird. Now this was cut out on my Cricut machine, but you can use any machine at all, or you can trace one and cut it out yourself by hand. That's certainly an option, and I may do something like that as well. Then of course there's always stencils. You could trace a stencil, cut it out, and use that in place. Here's one option. Now I kind of like, especially around the beak, I like the way the beak came out in this one. If I were going to use that piece of paper to do this, I would definitely put some black on the very tip of the beak. It's just made for it. But I decided that wasn't the one I wanted to give my friend. Here's the other side of it. These cutouts are the gift that keeps on giving. I thought that was too busy, so I opted not to use that. But it's all part of the process. There. Oops, boy, that glare is blinding. I'm so sorry. Put on your sunglasses. I like that. So that's what I'm going to go with. Glare or no glare. I'm getting no glare from my point of view, but your point of view looking at it. It's terrible. And I'm not going to say I'm sorry again, just that I'll do better next time. You live and you learn. There's another option. That is the actual cutout that came out of the gold. I could always just put that on a background, although I don't think I would do it that way. That paper is something that I got on sale from Cricut when they were having a clearance. There's the cutout from that original mat that I put down. The other side of that is has a heavy pattern. I won't throw those out. I will hold on to those and find another project for them. That is also part of the that piece is a part of this cutout from Cricut. There's the pattern side of the paper. That makes a little more sense. But no, that doesn't do it for me. Now look at this bird on black. I'm definitely going to have to do something with him. I live in Southwest Florida, and although I have never seen a wild flamingo down here, it seems to be the bird everyone uses as their mascot. Of course, we have all those plastic ones. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments. Come back again soon.